Da, acum va merge din rău în mai rău, că mergem din o suburbie cum se spune, enriched, îmbogățită. Dintr-o suburbie îmbogățită până în una și mai îmbogățită.
Într-una foarte bogată, nu?
Da.
Dacă...
Bill Gates. Bill Gates community.
After a while in Rinkeby, the number of disapproving looks upon us had started to intensify, so we decided to make good use of our official story. Our official story was that we're there for the Politikerveckan Järva, the Politicians' Week at Järva, which is an event in which actual politicians from all political parties go to Tensta for political outreach because of the low participation rate in the political process in this area. When we got here, it was a day dedicated to the Green Party, or Miljöpartiet de Gröna, but we didn't really want to talk to them. What we did want is to speak with the Feminist initiative, the minuscule extremist Marxist feminist party in Sweden that still hopes it will get into the next year's Riksdag and that managed the extraordinary performance of giving one member to the European Parliament, arguably the only madhouse that is bigger and more prestigious than Sweden itself. Sadly, it didn't quite work that way.
Right, so far we've been able to speak only with the Nazis.
Yes, the horrible, horrible Nazi party that wants to exterminate. Well, nobody ever explains what they want to exterminate, but they're Nazis because the Socialist Vänsterns Television says so.
Yeah, Socialist Vänstern Television is shorter than my acronym, although my acronym is funnier.
Yeah.
We try to speak with FI, with the Feminist Initiative, the Feminist Initiative Party, which they eventually said no, but that's the least interesting part. The more interesting part is that they were actually shocked that somebody wanted to speak with them.
I think that the reason they don't want to be interviewed is because they make total idiots of themselves every time they're interviewed on policy.
Yeah.
Because, we were lining up, we were going to shitpost, because, feminists triggered, feminism being mental illness and all. It would have been great, it would have been huge. But the thing is, we had some serious policy questions as well on sexual violence, which is curiously on the rise in Sweden. Clearly there can be no concrete explanation behind it except the fact that
Swedes are racist.
Yeah, the Sweden Democrats are increasing popularity.
Yeah.
That has to be it.
That has to be it, yeah.
Post hoc ergo propter hoc.
Yeah. Sorry, logic is a phallic patriarchal construct. You're not allowed to use that. I mean, my camera has already been triggered, and definitely my...
I've raped any feminist viewer with logic. That's terrible.
I'm gonna call DO right now.
Yeah. Anyway, and we had also some policy questions on the economy because, as one representative of FI famously said, the economy shouldn't set the boundaries for our politics, which makes me wonder what it is that they want to set the boundaries for the politics.
Probably their feelings.
Or maybe I'm just being a bit prejudiced, but I'm guessing it's something like this. Which is very funny because I don't think they want to decriminalize marijuana, but they should because it would make sense.
They only want to keep the drugs for themselves, so that's why they come. Yeah. That's how they come up with those marvelous policies.
And obviously, we wanted to ask about the defense issues as well, the military issues, because FI is famously the party that I mean, they're very close to the satire of Swedish feminists. They don't want to arm the Swedish soldiers with dildos just yet, but it's
Close
only
enough.
a matter of time.
Yes, so that probably, I mean, we tried, we thought about for about 15 minutes before approaching them. We thought about, maybe we should approach Fee too, because that would be fun. And he kept on pressuring me. I said, we should shitpost and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, we should. But let's try starting with something serious first. I mean, I was going to ask 3 serious questions, maybe 4 at the most. And then, I don't know, ask about what do you feel about people identifying as attack helicopters. And and maybe if they had responded something retarded on policy, I would have introduced in the editing process some helicopter noises because they all need to be helicoptered anyway.
Yeah.
But apparently we approached this the wrong way, because we approached them seriously, and they were frightened not of the possibility of shitposting, but of the possibility that they would have to seriously reply to a seriously asked question on serious policy.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Having to actually rationalize your political positions. It's awful.
Yeah. Awful.
When you can just go with the fifis.
No. But still, I mean, that's a bit sad. I mean, I was hoping to get some interview with them. All the other parties are either fully mental, but not mental in the way Fee is. I mean, Fee at the very least would have been funny.
Yeah.
But, going to ask the Social Democrats, no.
Yeah, no.
And we purposefully missed the speech of the leader from the Miljöpartiet de Gröna, because who the hell wants to talk with the Miljöpartiet?
Well, I mean, there is a certain degree of humor value in it. It would have been a great substitute for Fee.
Yeah.
Complete with editing in helicopter noises.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, what's their policy on defense, Miljöpartiet?
well, basically, it's like Fee. I don't think they're down to give soldiers dildos level yet. But I mean, Fee they're like a whole new ballpark. It's like, we're going to shut down all of the military, what little there is left. And I shit you not, this was, I believe, even their party policy in 2014 for the election. LGBT mediators are going to try to make a more peaceful world. So if you have the Armata 14 tank crossing the Tornionjoki, Tornälven in northern Sweden, clearly what you don't need is a Grad rocket. What you do need is an LGBT pamphlet being thrown at the tank by some...
because that will stop them.
Yeah.
That will stop them.
I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of unnecessary alt-right worship of Russia, but I think that even the Russians would turn around in terror if they saw something like that. I mean, they are kind of down the bend to Russia, but the Russians would be like, no blin.
Yeah, but other than that, this event looks remarkably quiet.
Yeah, one tent we could go visit would be that one, Stockholm Stadsmission.
Okay.
They're an NGO allegedly interested in helping homeless people. But a few days ago, they reached controversy because they refused an 85,000 krona donation from Sverigedemokraterna. So, obviously all the left-wing feminists were completely exhilarated. It's so good! But, of course, what this really is, at the end of the day, is free publicity for SD.
Yeah.
You even have Expressen and Göteborgs-Posten saying that, guys, 85,000 crowns for the homeless, and you didn't have to make SD into martyrs. Really?
No.
Dumbasses.
No. Yeah, because it's not like they had to publicly announce, look, we just got some shekel from Sverigedemokraterna. They could have just kept it quiet and reported at the end of the year, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But you know, creating this whole hullabaloo, to the in the cathedral media, they kind of, I don't know. I guess I'm grateful to them for having done that. I mean, at the end of the day, it increases the profile of SD.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic, really. Granted, it's it's very obvious that it was a political ploy by SD as well.
Oh yeah, for
but
sure.
They completely blew that out of proportion by refusing it publicly.
No.
It's, you know, if you hate SD, then the only thing you should do is not to give them free publicity.
No.
And that's what Stadsmissionen did. That's what they did. It's like, oh, SD is a party that cares for the old people who don't have food on the table, and Stadsmissionen are a bunch of cretins and who are more terrified of their image than they are of old people starving.
Yeah.
So that's the image that was projected.
No.
Now, obviously, there will always be some left-wingers who are going to say, oh, no, they did the right thing. But I'm sorry, you've been saying that the left-wing has been doing the right thing ever since 2006, and SD has just increased and doubled its share of the vote every time.
Yep. And probably will double it
Yeah.
again. Yeah. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. Other than that, I'm surprised of the... well, I guess I'm not really that surprised, but still, it's quite an increased security. But the overall tone of the event is remarkably quiet.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is technically no-go zone. So you have to remember that one of the key characteristics as defined by the Swedish police of no-go zones is, of course, low participation in the judicial process. And I would argue this extends to the democratic process as well. There's very, very low vote participation, voter turnout, for instance, every year. I mean, those that do turn out will vote overwhelmingly for the Social Democrats, the left wing, and the Green Party, but that's beside the point. So it's not really that surprising that there aren't as many people. There are the political idealists, there are the people who are just here for the free coffee and the candy, and those aren't really that many put together. They're actually pretty few.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, we arrived here a little bit later
Than the main event.
Than the allegedly main event, but we arrived like 10 minutes after his speech was finished, and still there weren't that many people. In fact, I think there are more people now than when we arrived.
Yeah.
And by that, let me see. Here you go. That's exactly how many people there are. It's that area, and then there's that area. That's it.
Yeah.
What? 150 people tops,
Including the
police. Including the police.
Yeah.
Including the police.
If we're being generous.
Yeah, if we're being generous, yeah. So it's not really that many, considering that Rinkeby and Tensta have, at the very least, 15,000 inhabitants.
I would say something like that. Yeah.
Probably even a bit more, maybe 20,000 put together.
Yeah.
Both Rinkeby and Tensta. So I would have expected to see at least 1,000 people here, considering that the high unemployment in the area. It's not like there is the excuse that they're all, out of working or whatnot. Yeah, not really. But anyway, could have been worse.
Yeah.
I guess we should try to speak with those guys with the homeless guy.
And we should try with Fee again, because if you put a camera up in their face, maybe they can actually not wriggle away, because they were wriggling away because you were sitting it up. So they're like, no, go away. But if you just push it into their face, maybe they'll actually have no choice.
I don't know.
I mean, what they're going to do? I mean, the Swedish filming laws are extremely liberal. I mean, and liberal in the classical sense, not in the Bernie Sanders Bolshevik Soviet sense. So they're...
Yeah, you can pretty much videotape anywhere except the Rinkeby square.
But that's not because it's illegal, that's because you might get some
it's de facto illegal.
Negative repercussions from some of the locals.
No. I don't know. I guess we're gonna hang around a little bit more here, and if we find something interesting, we're obviously going to include it. Oh, and I should be. There were a bunch of kids stopped us in the track and asked us to give them the name of the channel. That would be interesting. I'll probably expect some hate mail because of that, or maybe not, not. I mean, it could very well be not the case.
Well, I mean, if nothing else, they were more open-minded than Fee.
Yeah. At the very least, they wanted to...
And they were like, what, 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids?
Yeah.
And they were like more open-minded and allegedly educated feminists. Even though you have to remember that depending on what education it is you get, I mean, if you study menstrual arts or vaginal knitting at Södertörn University or Konstfack, you will and gender studies for that matter, you will emerge stupider than when you enter. It's all but a proven scientific fact.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The science is settled on, on that.
It's a consensus.
Yeah.
The science is settled.
99.7% of scientists agree that graduating in gender studies.
And the other 0.1% are gender studies.
Gender studies.
Gender studies.
Genusvetenskap.
Genusvetenskap.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna hang around a little bit more here, and then I guess that's enough. Enough of diversity and progress for us. And we're gonna head back towards the saner areas of the city.
Yeah. Relatively speaking.
Relatively speaking, yeah. I'm not extreme. I mean, I want to catch a bit more of that commie architecture of yours, because there's quite a lot of it anyway. And then
we can stop at KTH actually this time around.
We should,
because we'll have a lot of things to talk about, you know, at KTH. You know, with how they've employed gender studies professors at a technological university,
which is again insane, but then it's välkommen till Sverige. We're gonna hang around a little bit here. Then we go to the center, maybe at KTH. And then in a few days we're hitting the road again, going to Göteborg. And then maybe on Friday, if we're in the mood, we might come back here because this event is a 1 week event. It's called Järva, and maybe they'll bring in more interesting people. Maybe if we come back here again 3 days from now or 4 days from now, maybe they'll have different representatives from FI. And then we can try a different approach. I really need to get the FI people on camera.
Well, we can still do what I said, you know, just walk right into them like, oh, hello, we have a camera, you can't run now. If you run, we'll take over your tent and tear down your pink flags.
A fin stare să cheme miliția, simt că s-o prins bate.
Ce, Doamne, să cheme miliția, să mă pupe, pardon de expresie, dar ce pot să fac? Așa, he hurt my feelings. Believe it or not, hurting people's feelings isn't illegal in Sweden.
Yet.
Officially, you can still be prosecuted on another legal basis when in actuality what has happened is that you've hurt somebody's feelings, but just because, oh no, these people are filming us, we can just say we identify as attack helicopters.
Yeah.
You know, stop oppressing us.
Yeah, and we're journalists for the glorious Republic of Kyrgyzstan anyway, so...
Yeah, we're Kyrgyzstani refugees.
Yeah.
We've tried to practice our peaceful religion of Kek in our homeland, but due to the burning of the Kovfefe scrolls, we have...
we were forced to flee. It's sad, terrible.
And we're actually both 14, so we need retroactive child allowance and benefits.
And then we can just accuse FI of racism.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all privileged white women. We're Kyrgyzstani.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Right, shitposting aside, we're just gonna hang around here and see what other fun stuff we can do here.
Yeah.
After moving over the terrible rejection by the Feminist initiative and after noticing that they rejected all inquiries and requests for interviews from any journalist in the area, we turned our attention to one of the stages where a panel discussion about education in no-go zones was about to start.
Hej Järva! Kul att se att många har bänkat sig för den här diskussionen. Det här är alltså en medborgarpanel kallas det för. 3 stycken personer som jobbar inom skola och utbildning här på Järvafältet.
Sadly, this was the absolute norm. Largely people who had no idea what they were talking about and intense avoidance of the real issues. At least the chap in the right of this image, drawing from his experience as superintendent in a no-go zone school, understood some realities, but still refused to address them and avoided offending the unions. The audience largely resembled the panel, activists and people to whom this event wasn't intended to. To put it in less gushing terms, this was, for all intents and purposes, a circle jerk. It was still funny to watch the token Muslim women from the Social Democratic Party trying to project the image that practicing Islam is actually compatible to Western culture. Of course, the second I approached them with the camera in my head, the openness suddenly vanished. I just wanted to ask them what would imams say about them playing basketball, that's strike 1, with the kuffar, strike 2, in a non-gender segregated setup, that would be strike 3. Well, maybe I'll get that chance, maybe next time. There was, however, one politician that not only wanted to speak with us, but was also very nice with us. So in the next video, we'll be speaking with Jenny Ribskog, second vice chair of the Stockholm branch of the Sweden Democrats. So stay tuned for that. But before I wrap this video up, I need to point out the syncretism between commie propaganda and Arabic writing. At the entrance in the metro station in Tensta, there's displays in Arabic, some of them advertising mosques from what I gathered, while inside there's open borders and commie propaganda. Now isn't that nice? I kind of felt offended that they didn't have a display in Kekistani though. Maybe I should have complained to the discrimination ombudsman. Anyway, with all of that being said, thank you all for watching, thank you deeply for your continuous support, and I'll see you all soon with more content from Sweden.